With a general election looming, opposition leader Mark Golding is making his boldest case yet for a change in government. With the details, here's Ramon Gordon.
In his budget presentation on Tuesday, Mr. Golding outlined an economic vision focused on education, home ownership and cost of living relief, while also pledging to cut bureaucratic red tape, Nika. But is this enough to sway voters? Here are the details. With a general election due by September, opposition leader Mark Golding is making his strongest case yet for why he believes Jamaica needs a new government. Delivering his budget debate presentation Tuesday, Golding outlined an economic plan focused on education, home ownership, cost of living relief, and long-term growth. His key pledges include one full university scholarship per family, a rent-to-own program for informal workers and young professionals, restored mortgage benefits for civil servants, cutting bureaucratic red tape, and declaring Miss Lou Jamaica's second national heroine.
Our focus is on growth that improves lives, lifts families out of poverty, and creates opportunities for all Jamaicans.
Golding called his presentation a real plan, arguing that despite the government's claims of economic stability, too many Jamaicans are still struggling, particularly with bureaucracy.
As Prime Minister, I will establish and I will personally chair a task force using my skills and experience as a legislator and in government to tackle the inefficiencies head-on.
Just a day earlier, the Prime Minister appointed a minister responsible for the same issue. The opposition's spokesperson on finance, Julian Robinson, had previously proposed a four-point strategy during his budget presentation. Today, Golding added a fifth.
And that is ethics. And it is ethics which is perhaps more than any other factor the defining difference between the government that you lead and the government that I will lead.
On education, Golding expanded the PNP's ease policy, announcing plans to increase PATH transport assistance from 7,500 students to 50,000 over 3 years. Under the proposed Rural Initiative for Delivering Education RIDE program, he's also pushing for a transportation subsidy for rural students outside JUTC-served areas.
We will say more about this program at an appropriate time.
He'll also remove taxes on tablets and laptops for students and teachers. Beyond what he sees as widespread moral decline and economic mismanagement, Golding argued that Jamaica cannot afford to remain trapped in a cycle of low wages and weak productivity. He called for deliberate, long-term investment in high-value industries and human capital.
You cannot use statistics to tell a struggling man that he's not struggling. We remain fully committed to fiscal discipline. People know what the reality of their lives is.
The Prime Minister is expected to respond in the coming days. However, Finance Minister Favour Williams has already defended the government's fiscal strategy. The government insists its policies have kept Jamaica on a responsible economic path while protecting the gains made over the past decade. Ramon Gordon for CVM News.